I want to, this might be a bit controversial. True.
You know, true, 100%.
It's 1,000%.
But they don't know that that one of the 1,000 is the one that put the effort.
Exactly.
Yo, you had a good time. Yo, best party, please do it next week. That time we are in debt.
Yeah.
Doing shows, but I could tell only later then we started to realize this guy is actually in it for his own benefit. He knew the industry more than we did.
So he could manipulate. If you didn't start there, I don't trust you as a musician.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the secret that I learned, giving you niggas my secret, is that you have to, bro, man, we lost so much money, bro. Like,
what is this light you talking about? He's wild.
I'm like, yo, just a song, bro.
Yeah. Then when they get a no, they're like, fuck these guys.
And then like, they see me getting it, they be like, this guy's actually got somebody inside, whatever. Now I came with that language. And then now that, okay, you're speaking our language, you know, people gravitate to what they know. So by the time we get to the fourth thing on the list, they're like, shit, budget is exhausted.
I think I would love for you to just expand on that, right? Because we work in an industry where people are snakes, people are sharks. And
you're live on Dead Radio.
Welcome to another very special episode of Dead Radio with your boy Ini. And once again, we have another special guest in the building. A diamond, if you will say, from the land of diamonds. We're gonna let our guests introduce themselves and then we're gonna get into their life story, and you know how we do. Get those jewels for you guys to use in your everyday life. So without further ado, yeah.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Dead Radio, man. It's your boy Banty, all the way from the 267 Gaborone, Mageba, BW. And we out here, man. I'm a recording artist. I actually like to call myself a creative entrepreneur. So,
I love that. Bro, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, bro. Shit, it's such an honor, dog.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, bro. I've been on the road.
On the road, right? You just came back.
Had a show last night in Gabs.
Damn, how was that?
It was dope. Shout out to Perfect Noise, you know. It was fresh, man.
I love that.
Woke up early this morning, make sure that I'm here today.
You're here. Shout out to you, bro.
Yes, sir.
I think let's start your story from the beginning. Where did you grow up? Yeah.
Man, I'm a straight up city kid. I would like straight up from Gabs City.
I feel you.
born and bred.
I'm actually from the same city, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Gabs City.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. So grew up in Gabs, born in Gabs, grew up in Gabs.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I don't know why my parents never used. I don't know, man. Even my parents are city people, bro.
They're just city people.
Yeah, like they never used to go to know. Even my so it actually started with my grandparents. So my grandmom and dad from both sides were all in Gabs.
In Gaborone.
So my parents also born in Gabs, you know. So
and now you're born in Gabs. I feel you.
Fifth generation in Gabs City.
Of niggas in the city. You know? I feel you.
Yeah, bro.
Tell us about Bantata as a young man. Were you a introvert? Were you an extrovert? Did you have a lot of friends? Just tell us about Bantata as a young man.
Hey, man. Damn. I'd say I was very shy. I was a very shy kid.
So you were an introvert?
Yeah, I was very introverted.
Crazy.
I was a very shy kid, but once I got comfortable around you, I was.
Then you.
Yeah. Now I became the extrovert.
I feel
you know what I mean?
you.
And I think that kind of what gravitated people towards just being my friend. You know. Okay. I grew up as an only kid. Yeah. So
no brothers, no sisters.
No brother, no sister as a kid.
Okay.
You know, and I guess that's just how I started getting a lot of friends, you know. I started finding brothers and friends.
Okay. When does the music bug get planted in your mind? Like the love for music.
Yeah.
Like where does that come from?
Bro, it stems back to, I think I was 5 years old. My grandfather bought me a piano.
Crazy.
Yeah. Actually didn't buy it for me. They've always had it, so it just
they passed it down to you.
Yeah, they were like, yo, you don't need this thing in our crib no more.
I feel you.
So my dad just had it at the house. It looked very nice. So I used to be amused by the sounds that come out of just pressing it, you know.
Crazy.
And then my mom saw that this kid every day when he comes from school, he's
on the piano.
You know, I didn't know what I'm doing. I just went to just press.
I'm
just pressing.
I get
and then started seeing, wait, let's actually get some piano lessons for him.
Okay.
And then I started doing piano lessons.
Dope.
Yeah.
As
as
young
a kid.
kid.
Yeah. So from like 5 to like maybe 8 years old to 10 years old.
You were playing
I was playing
piano.
yeah.
Okay, dope.
I can't play it still.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
I can't play it anymore.
Yeah.
I forgot how to jam it, but
Yeah.
I think that's where the music bug got
But
into
the music, I feel like understanding music is still inside you.
Yeah,
Right?
100
From that time.
From that time, 100%.
Dope.
100%.
Tell us about Banty transitioning from a young boy to a teenager. Like, what's that phase? How do you start viewing the world? What are the things that you start getting into?
Yeah.
I know that you skate, right?
Yes, yes.
Did that come from the teenage years?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Excuse me. So, like I was saying, the music thing started when I was 5 years old, but it wasn't like I want to make music. I just knew that I love this thing.
I get you.
You know, I didn't know this is what I want to be doing or whatever. I just knew I love this thing. This feeling that it makes, you know, I know that this is it.
Yeah.
And then just growing up, I fell in love with hip hop.
Okay.
You know, I fell in love with hip hop now because I've always been a kid that loves doing research. You know, I love up to today, bro. Like I'm researching.
I
every
feel
day.
that's one of your superpowers that actually a lot of people overlook.
Yeah.
Right. You like to do a lot of research in whatever field you go
100%. Or anything I'm interested in.
Yeah, anything that you're interested
Yeah,
in.
even if it's just something far away, but I just want to know. I'm just curious. I'm very curious.
I get
you
that.
know, I'm that guy that's going to be online and I read comments.
I get
you know, trying to see how do these people think.
Feel.
Yeah. So
one thing I want to tell you guys is that curiosity is one of the greatest superpowers you can ever have. Skill, I see it, but curiosity will open the world to you.
And having the will to find out.
Yeah, to find out.
You know?
To find out. Like, yo, how does this work? How does this work? Okay.
So like then I did my research on hip hop.
Okay.
And at that time,
what are you bumping at that time?
bro, at that time I think when I actually started listening to the tunes is like 10 years old. And at the time it's WHYSO that was popping at the time. You know what I mean? So he had the dreads, I got dreads, I'm like, yo, okay, maybe I can be like this guy type stuff, you know? So I just started like copying the way that he dresses. There's a website, I was a big music fan, there was a website called Lil Wayne HQ. I think it's still up today.
Okay.
And back then, it's before Instagram, whatever, so you're not able to like go on your
Gram
role models page to check out some stuff.
Yeah.
WHYSO was like one of the first rappers in like 2007, 8, 9 to have his own website. You know, all his pictures were posted there, so I knew, okay, cool. Let me plan the next CV's fit.
Yeah, I fit from that.
For CV's day. You know, I'm there just looking at WHYSO and I'm just playing his music. But I still don't understand what the guy is saying. Pussy, money, weed, bro, I'm a lighty.
Yeah, you don't know
but
nothing
I'm singing
about
that shit.
I feel
I got schooled by one of my aunts, my dad's sister, on Facebook. I think I was 12 and I put a status, pussy, money, weed. And then I recited the whole song on one of my status. Bro, she called my dad like, yo, I thought the light.
What is this light you talking about? Dog, he's wild.
I'm like, yo, just a song, bro.
Yeah,
Just a song. Yeah, bro.
Okay, so Wayne was a big influence.
Yeah, so Wayne was a big influence, but that was before Wayne influenced me in liking hip hop, not wanting to make it, right? The way that I dressed, the way that we talked, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my boy Philly, my best friend Philip, moved to Joburg. So he started skate. When he got here, he met some skateboard guys, you know. He went to school with them, so they got him into it. And then when he came to Gabs, he's showing us ollies and whatever. Me and my boy Issy showing us, yo, 1, 2. I'm like, yo, this is dope. Dog. That day we're on the boat, we're falling.
I feel you.
Told my mom, yo, buy me the skateboard.
I want to learn this thing.
And ever since then, bro, then I just love skating. Did my research on it, found out Niger, Houston, and Niger was like just maybe like 2, 3 years older than us. So at the time, he was also still like, so I'm like, yo, just lighty with dreadlocks is shredding.
And he still had the
my nigga, the bongo muffin.
the bongo muffin dreads,
You check, and then skateboarding then enhanced my love for hip hop. Because it's hip hop, it's hip hop culture. You know what I mean? At the skate park, guys are freestyling. Guys, you know, guys, everybody's sagging their pants. Guys are playing, there's producers playing their beats on a fucking Bluetooth speaker.
I get that.
You know, and then that just...
So that's the thing that brought you...
That kind of just... Yeah. So then I figured, okay, cool, this is where I'm gonna be at. I actually thought I wanted to be a professional skateboarder. You know, yeah, that's my. It was between a professional skateboarder or a professional soccer player, because I loved soccer as well at school.
Okay, you're a disky guy.
Yeah, I was a disky guy. Okay. My dad actually wanted me to play soccer. You know, he invested in me like on weekends when we're not doing anything. I'd go play at, there was some field behind the national stadium in Gabs. They had like this.
It's not Gaborone club. Okay, I'm actually thinking of.
Yeah, but there was like. There were these guys that really supported Tottenham, so they made like their own Tottenham squad.
Like little squad.
Yeah. Okay. So then I joined that, used to play it all the time, you know. Then I scale soccer as well, but skateboarding kind of like
was the main
Yeah, that was the main thing. I'd rather get injured on the board than break my leg on the field.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
So during that phase, when do you feel like, okay, actually let me record my first song? Like when does that happen?
Okay. So actually, I want to give a shout out to the guys I met in high school, you know, because only then when I got to high school in Form 1, I started thinking about, okay, we can actually make music, because I found guys there who were also into music in my year. Like when we came in, we were all into music, and these guys actually had experience of recording before, just from USB mics, you know. Before
that's the way everyone starts.
Before the sound cards.
And if you didn't start there, I don't trust you as a musician.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those guys then taught me that the thing is possible. Then I had a homie called Kai Lazy, who RIP passed away many years ago, and he lived just down my road, and he was into this thing, like he was fully in it. So his parents were also supporting it. They bought him studio equipment, you know. He was even getting managed by Starga Don Dada believed in him. Crazy. You know, he was a karateka, but he loved the music. Okay. So because he lived down the road from me, I'd always strap to his crib. He was also a skateboarder as well. So you know, we'd skate, then go back into his studio. His parents were very supportive of the craft, so we could make noise in the house in the studio.
And they wouldn't trip.
No, they wouldn't trip. You know what I mean? He was making beats in there. He taught me. That guy actually taught me how to record. Like, he's the one that I saw. Okay, cool. Like if somebody puts your heart in this, like you can actually get better. Because I saw his growth as well. Okay. Like right in front of my eyes. Like in a space of a month, this guy's in the studio every single day. And it's in his room. You know, so it's bed, chair, desk, making the beats on FL.
Right there.
Then we record. When I come to his crib, I find beats already. He's like, yo, Titty, today we're recording. You know? Yeah, so I think that's actually where it started.
Where you first recorded first music. Does that music exist anywhere?
Nah.
Okay.
I actually don't know what it is, man. I'd love to find it.
Yeah.
Nah, then we weren't even putting things, we're like just sending BBM, you know, sending to each other on BBM.
Yo, BBM was huge.
Yep.
Okay, so what, you guys were sending music around to like
friends,
whatever.
Friends, cousins.
Okay.
You know.
What was your rap name at that time?
Still Banty. So I've been Banty since high school. Like from the whole way, it was just I think one of my aunts, they call me Banty, just for short of Banty, you know. And when I got to map, I'm like, Banty, dog, you know. And then just as I was growing up, I figured, okay, how can I brand this thing? How can I? Okay. You know, then the white girls used to call me Titty. That's actually where Titty comes from.
That's where Titty comes from.
So they call me Titty. Then I just after I'm like, okay, this can be a nickname. You know.
I feel you. Damn. Okay.
And you're live on Dead Radio. And you're live on Dead Radio.
So the end of high school, what's your perspective on career paths? What do you think? Are you thinking, okay, I've been doing this music thing, I'm gonna do this music thing? Or are you thinking, is the dream of being a professional skater still in your mind? Like, what were you thinking at the end of high school?
Nah, so by the time now, I'm recording almost every day with this guy, Kyle. And then shortly after he passed away, right? And then I saw what he had, so I went to go buy the same equipment that he had. Okay. I went to go buy the same equipment he had, so the same structure that he had of recording every day after Skela was what I would do.
Okay.
You know, I didn't know how to like find auto-tune key. Like I used to record off key, used to piss me off. I didn't know how to, you know. Yeah. But like I kept on doing it until I cracked it. Okay. You know, then when we finally cracked it, now me and my boys, we made a rap crew at school called CBR.
CBR, what is that?
What? Cashback Records.
Cashback Records.
You see, it was very Weezy inspired.
Weezy, I feel you.
Very Weezy inspired.
Even the recording every day.
Yeah.
That's some Wayne stuff.
Bro, then I found his videos on YouTube of him recording. So I was like, oh, finally, now more reference, you know? More point of reference.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So by the time I was in like Form 4, which is what, grade 11 here?
Grade 11, yeah.
Nah, I didn't like slow down skateboarding, you know, like I wouldn't go to the park every Saturday anymore. I'd be in the studio, you know. Now because we're rapping more, there's guys who are coming to shoot music videos at the skate park. So we'll see, okay, now there's guys who are the next level, you know.
The next level.
Music videos.
Okay.
So they're coming to the skate park for us to be in the videos, you know, because the skateboarders were
Yeah.
Bro, I think we're in like more than 10 videos, bro, and from bots rappers. From like 2010 to, from 2009, 2008 to 2013, I think we've been in more than 10 music videos. Damn. When guys saw the skate park thing, they were like, nah, we're here.
The orange one.
Yeah, the orange one at Molapo.
Yeah, at Molapo.
They went to skate also at Mall, which guys still skate out there.
Yeah,
you know?
Okay. So you at that point, you slow down on the skating.
Slow down, even soccer.
Even the soccer.
Even the soccer.
So now you are 1000% focused on this music.
Yeah, so now high school is about to finish. And obviously grade 11, grade 12, Rents are asking, yo, what's next?
Yeah, where you going?
One thing for sure I knew that I'm not doing A-levels. I am not going to UB. Not that there's anything wrong about you know.
UB, by the way, is University of Botswana.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm not going to UB. There's nothing that I can study there. So my mom's like, okay, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to do music. So because of the whole, you know, the stigma of music in Botswana, there's many guys, even the people that our parents grew up with, you know, there's many people that.
I mean, even in a place like South Africa, where there are a lot of references for successful musicians, parents still tell their kids, bro, what are you talking about?
That guy was just 1 out of 1,000.
Out of 1,000.
Yeah.
And it's true.
You know, true, 100%.
It's 1,000%.
But they don't know that 1 of the 1,000 is the one that put the effort.
Exactly.
You check.
Exactly.
So that's what I used to try to prove to my old lady. And she was just like, you know what? Look for something that is close to what you're doing. Because you can't say you're going to school for music. Like, what are you going to do? Learn how to rap? So that's when I started doing my research and I found out there's sound engineering. You know, which is closer to it. And I found that out actually through when I started following AKA. I started following SA Hip Hop on my last year of high school.
Okay.
I think this was when, second last year of high school, this is when AKA had dropped, just before he dropped Levels.
Okay. So now SA Hip Hop is doing.
Yeah. And because of my curiosity, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the SA entertainment culture from just watching Veezo.
Oh, yo, Veezo was a huge...
I knew I had to be home 6 p.m. to watch V Entertainment.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
feel you.
Because that's only where we used to catch these guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I started tapping into that. Then I started following this guy, AKA, and his story. Then I heard he went to ASE for whatever. Then funny enough, I think was that term at Scala. There was like an all-school seminar type of thing. So they do it every year for the last year of high school for people. So they'll bring schools from SA, from the UK, from representatives from whatever, where it's like a fair of just galas, they're giving out pamphlets, questions.
Just so kids can find out about different career paths.
And Academy of Sound Engineering was there. So I'm like, oh, this is that thing AK was doing. So I went to go ask them, yo, what's this about? They're telling me, yeah, hey, I'm just like, yo, this is close to what I'm doing. Went home and told my mom, I know what I'm doing. Sound engineering. Where Ibile, you don't even have to ask me where because here's the business card.
Right here. Okay.
Here's the business card.
Once again, the research puts you in the best position.
Exactly. Right? And then, then I told her, yo, sound engineering is what it is. So right after high school, that's when I moved to Joburg.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about 10 years ago. Moved to Joburg. Lived in Auckland Park, went to ASC. Did ASC for like a year or two. When I got to the second year, I'm like, hey, this shit is actually not what I do. The amount of studying that was required and just, not that I don't like studying, I just wasn't interested, you know.
I get you. And what were you guys learning? Like,
bro, we're learning decibels, we're learning how many decibels it hit when it hits the wall, how many reflect back. You know, we're learning how to roll wires and cables. We're learning how to function, the mixer desk.
Yes, that mixer deck.
George 1 verse 1. If you went to ASC, you know George 1 verse 1.
Yeah.
You know, we did all that. And it got to a point now, it's a bit tedious now. There's maths involved. I'm like, nah, man.
That's not what I want to do.
Yeah. And then, luckily at the time, as luck would have it, or the universe and preparation, the song that I recorded, Naomi, started picking up.
Damn. Okay. Wait. So Naomi is out at the time that you're at ASC.
Yeah, so I recorded Naomi while I was at ASC.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the studios.
No, not at the studios, but in like one of the holidays when I went back home. But at the studios that I used to record all the time with, we had like these, as a first year student, you're not allowed to like get into the studio alone or whatever.
Yeah.
So you had to like go in with a third year or whatever. And because I've always gravitated to hanging and connecting more with people older than me. Like just growing up also in my squad, whatever squads I've been in, I've always been the youngest guy.
Okay.
I've always been the youngest guy.
Damn, that makes so much sense about how you move.
Yeah.
Because you've always moved in a wiser way than people you.
I've always wanted. I never wanted to always be the smartest guy in the room. You know, I always want to learn, bro. If I'm gonna step into a room and there's like at least 10 guys, at least let me walk out with 10 gems.
I get you.
You know. So in ASC it was like that. I didn't really chill with like the guys who were in my year. I gravitated to like the third years or whatever. Yeah. So the guys used to just show me how this is where AKA recorded what this is where whatever. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah. So one of the holidays when I went back cabin.
That's when you recorded.
That's when I recorded Naomi.
Damn. So does Naomi come out before
WhySo Faded? Nah.
WhySo Faded.
WhySo Faded first, actually.
Okay. So WhySo Faded? Because I feel like that's such a pivotal moment in your career.
100%.
And not just your career, in BW, like youth culture.
Yeah, the new, I call it the new Mageba.
Yeah, the new Mageba. Yeah. So that song you guys recorded, you put it out. Did you know that it was going to be a hit?
I don't want to say I knew, but also I knew that whatever I'm going to do can't just hang in the air, you know, especially if I'm going to work with Faded Gang. You know, I knew that whatever it is that I'm going to come, because I wanted to hit them out for a long time, but until I got this one, I'm like, so I knew something got to give here.
Yeah.
Something has got to give.
Yeah.
You know?
So you guys put that song out, it changes your life.
Yeah.
You immediately are catapulted into like stardom, right?
Yeah. But now, I wouldn't say that. I think it was 1 foot in.
Okay,
now.
1 foot in.
Yeah, so now that 1 foot in is like guys saying, okay, let's see now, what's next? This could have been a fluke. This could have been a, you know?
I want to talk about that space, right? Because a lot of artists do catch lightning in a bottle. They make a song and it, right?
Yeah.
Now there's pressure. Internally and externally.
Yes.
Externally is the people saying, bruh,
yeah,
that song is fire. But
but also,
are you the real deal?
Also, it was like this nigga already jumped on a song with guys that already had momentum. You know, he had the weakest verse on the song. Yeah. So all those things that were coming at, I took that in and thought, ish, this can make me quit. All that track can make me quit. But when I first hit these niggas up, I was thinking of the next 3 moves. So I can't quit because of this shit. I need to finish those 3 moves and make another 3 moves and another 3 moves. You know, I always believed in the 3. So when you do 1 move, you should already have 3 lined up.
Okay.
You know,
I love that.
Yeah. So I started practicing that, and now it's like second nature.
Yeah. So that song is there, and then you record Naomi.
Yeah. So when we made that song, then when it started booming, I was already looking. Now I'm looking like, what's next? You know, I knew there's something, but where is it gonna come from? You know, and just being pure and having the right energy, it came.
Okay.
You know, producer Takunda, shout out to him and producer Naomi. He then hits me up. We hadn't talked, we went to school together. He was like my senior at Westwood, which was the primary school I went to.
Dope.
So we hadn't talked in a minute after that, after school that time. But then WhySo Faded now started making traction. So a lot of people that I think I'd gone to school with before started to see, that's Banty from me. You know,
okay, they're
connecting the dots. So now the guys who are into music were starting to now tap in, reach out.
I get.
So Taku then reached out like, yo, I see you're doing this thing. I got a couple of beats here, dog. You know, he sent me like I remember it was 5 beats. Went through, dope. I stopped at number 3. That was a Naomi beat. I stopped halfway and I started again. I'm like, yo, this is it.
This is the one.
You know when you're just chuffed at yourself, you're like, you know?
Yeah.
So it was one of them ones.
Damn. So you recorded, put it out. Are you still, because at that time when you put it out, right, you mentioned how you weren't into school anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens, because your career is doing this, but you still have obligations, like you're still in school.
I'm still in school.
So how are you balancing this?
So now what happens, I remember telling my mom, like, yo, I think let me take a break. She's like, are you fucking mad? You got a year left, nigga, and you told me you want to come to
That you want to do this.
You know? And I'm like, hey, then there's a time where she made sure I don't come back, and I missed like 2-3 gigs that I was booked for, you know? And I think maybe I took a bus hella going back by myself. I took a booking, and that time, bro, because the song is hot, you can dictate how much you want to get paid.
Yeah.
Imagine, bro, I'm 19 years old and I'm telling these guys, 20,000. You know, and I'm just trying my luck.
Yeah.
Then I get like,
they pay you.
And the dollar. So I remember coming back home one day with like 3 pairs of sneakers from Urban Soul, cap. I was like, yo, who blessed you with this? I'm like, nah, it's myself.
It's myself.
I
I got
myself.
motion.
You know, but then I went back to Scala, and then now what I did was I put my mom's, I didn't have a manager, so I put her number on my Facebook bio. So now they're harassing her.
They're calling your mom down.
Yeah, so now the promoters, fans, you know, are calling. So she can see, okay, now there's actually some, now even have friends.
There's motion.
Her friends are calling, yo, we just saw your son on the radio, we hear them talking about him on the radio, whatever. So I keep coming back now. So she's seen the go up now coming in. She's seen the go up. Then she's just like, Ish, okay, you know what? Do your break, whatever.
Do this thing.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, I'm never going back to Scala. I am gone. And
I'm done.
You know, I'm done. You know. Then she tried to come many years later. But then many years, we'll get there too. Many years later, I went back to school. And we'll get to that, I guess.
Damn, what were some of the mistakes you were making as a young man has a hit record? You're 19, you have motion, there's money in your pockets. What were some of the mistakes you were making at that time?
At the time, I'd say I was very oblivious to thinking that everybody's got good intentions for you. Like everybody's got their best interest at heart. Okay. You know, I just felt like because this guy's trying to put money in my pocket, that's my nigga for life type shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. But then I learned these guys these promoters are fucked, you know, they're taking advantage because also me, like, I got into the industry as Banty, but with Bantata's personality.
I get you.
You know what I mean? So I think they started clocking out, this guy's actually, you know, we can do this to him.
Yeah,
you know,
we can manipulate him.
Yeah, we can manipulate him here and whatever. And I'd always end up with the shorter end of the stick. You know, consistently, bro. I'm like, dog, I'm putting in so much work. But what the fuck? I thought this guy. So I used to just get angry at it, and I'm like, it'll fuck up my motion. You know, it'll fuck up what I want to do tomorrow. I'm just like, fuck those guys. I'm chilling home today.
I get
you know, until I managed to snap out, I'm like, nah, man, do this shit myself, man. Fuck these guys. You know what I mean? Then I started learning the industry, you know.
Okay.
Guys, like, not everybody's got their
good intentions.
Yeah, your best interest at heart. Yeah, so I think that's one of my biggest mistakes. Damn. As a 19.
Because a lot of kids who are going to be watching this, like, I like to talk about like the balance, right? I like to talk about the wins and the losses. And I feel like in this internet age, we focus too much on the wins. And kids don't actually realize that, bro, there's a process to this thing, right? Even when you're taking losses, it's a part of like the process.
And I think it's also our fault as the guys that the kids are watching, you know what I mean? We only show the wins.
Yes. That's 1,000%
yeah, we
true,
only show the wins.
The wins, but it's like, bro, this journey, if you want to get into this journey of chasing your dreams, it's not just even music, bro. It's any type of dream. Bro, there's so many losses, like, and not even losses, lessons.
Yes.
Lessons.
Exactly.
You get me? Okay, so now you have motion, but then you start learning about the industry.
Yeah. So even like the biggest lesson from that, what I just told you was, there was a manager. Then my mom got tired, and there was a guy that used to work for my pops because my pops was also in restauranting.
Okay.
You know, he was also kind of in the media entertainment space.
Dope.
You know, so this guy used to like manage the place. And he knew music, so he used to book artists at the time. So mom was like, the only person I know that understands this thing is this guy that used to spun for your pops. Let me holler at him too, you know. And he knows, he can also see what the lighty that I used to work for, the dad is popping out, whatever. So my mom called him, he was happy, he's like, yo, I'm there.
Let me
shit,
do that.
You know what I mean? And because he used to work, my rents trusted, you know, and me and him also just started chilling, going for radio interviews, going for whatever, doing shows, but I could tell only later then we started to realize this guy is actually in it for his own benefit. He knew the industry more than we did.
So he could manipulate situations.
He could manipulate situations and say, no, it's this, you know, or if it's a booking that's coming in, it could be like a chat off. They only pay 10K, then you'll take my 20%. And there's
it's a bigger bag.
They're taking from this one, and they just think that. I think a lot of things that guys thought also was, nah, this kid is sharp. He's got his parents.
He'll be okay.
Or sharp, you know. Yeah.
There's a lot of sharks in the industry.
A lot of sharks,
right?
bro. I learned that.
Especially from.
Then learn how to become a shark yourself.
You have to become a shark, right?
Exactly.
That's the only way you're able to maneuver these waters. Because as a fish, you're gonna get eaten.
You're gonna get swallowed, boy.
Damn. Okay, so then you start developing a relationship with Veezo. How does that happen?
So with Veezo, I'm always a fan of Veezo, bro. Like, we went to the same high school. He finished a couple years before me, but he was already rapping out there, so he already kind of became popular in the scenes out there, you know. And I think he did the same thing I did. As soon as he finished that scale, like, he moved straight to Joburg. Yeah. And when he came out here, he came and just did his thing, you know, out rapping niggas.
So that was someone you're watching.
That was somebody else, but there was no like
connection
or any way to like really watch him. You know, I'm just hearing his songs on radio. I'm hearing what he's from Botswana. He went to the same school as me. I'm hearing that he's in the same stable as early years. I'm like, oh, that means it's possible if we're from this side.
Okay.
And as the universe would have it again, he was very close friends with my older cousin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I remember telling her like, yo, dog, my mom, because I used to tell my mom also, we'd hear Ska is another radio host. He was a radio host in Bots. You know Ska, right?
I know Ska. Yeah.
Top guy.
OG.
Yeah. So he was on radio at the time when I was in high school. So we used to drive every morning. I'd hear him on radio, and Veezo had a jingle on his show. So every morning I'd always hear
Veezo.
that jank. That, you know what I mean? Then I found out the same. I tell my mom, yo, I know this guy. Or then she's like, what's his name? And I said the full name. He's like, I know his family. You know what I mean? Tell your cousin. Then I told my cousin, yo. And he's like, bro, that guy's a call away, dog. Don't worry, he's in Joburg right now. When he's in Gabs, I will
link you guys.
Yeah, I will link you guys.
Yeah.
And that's what she did, bro. Then she told me, yo, next week Monday, we're going for rib night. Luvuyo's gonna be there, so we'll go with him. I'm like, perfect. I remember, I think that whole week before, bro, I was practicing in the mirror, like, how am I gonna talk to this guy? What am I gonna say to him? Yeah. And this is before Naomi. So it was like 18, 19.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just after high school. When I had the vision already. Yeah. I knew what the fuck was gonna happen. I knew, you know, what I wanted.
How you were gonna maneuver it.
Yeah. So she picks me up. She's like, okay, yo, we're gonna go pick up Veezo. And she's like, I'm like, for real? I thought you were gonna meet us today. Like, no, we're picking him up. Don't worry, we're all going. I want it to be so by the time we even get to the spot, you guys are already comfortable, all type shit. All right, we're driving. She picks me up, get in the car, we drive. Bro, I kid you not, she turns to the next street and then hoots. I'm like, wait, this is a stone throw away from me. This is his house.
Oh snap! You guys live in the same neighborhood.
Bro, literally like a walk, like a stone throw away.
Damn, that's crazy.
I never knew.
Yeah.
That was the first sign, right? We get in there, he gets saying, yo, this is Banty, this is Veezo. Oh yeah. Then we get to the spot. Now it's a full table with all their friends. Okay. Type shit. So I'm like, hey, when am I gonna get the opportunity to fucking talk to this guy? Yeah. So I think also he was also just like, man, these are people from my old school. Oh fuck. You know, let me go to the corner for a smoke or something. And I followed the bro. So I'm going to I think he was going to go play pool actually, the pool table. Then I followed him and he's like, yeah, so what's your chat, dog?
What's the story?
What's your story, like, T? You know? So I'm telling him, bro, I'm trying to do this music thing. I want to move to Joburg next year. I see you out there. How is it? He was telling me, but hey, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, shit not easy, whatever. You just need to have the heart for it. That's the first thing. And I think also, it was just more of like a lightly talking to an OG. So I don't think for him it was just like
he was just like
another one.
Another light.
Another light. But I told him, yo, I want to come through next year. Actually, I'm coming through next year. Yeah, I'm gonna go to this gala. Then he told me, oh, my boy Tshego actually went to that gala too. And then when he came, he said, nah, he gave me his number. It was dope night. Then I tried reaching out to him when I came to shows. It was very hard to reach at the time as well. Very hard. Then I don't know what happened. One day we just decided to, I don't know if he decided to return the call or he answered. And I remember I told him, I'm like, yo, what's up, what you doing? I got a bottle or something, can I pull up on you? And I think my bro was just one of those days where he was just posting.
At the crib.
Like, actually, a bottle of 1818 wouldn't be bad.
It's
a random Wednesday.
Pull out.
So I'm like, clear, and I knew that day, fuck Scale, I'm not going to Scale, I'm going to go see Veezo View. This is even before Veezo View, I'm going to go see Veezo. Pull up on him, he's like, he sent me the ID, say Uber, get to his crib. I was living in Auckland Park at the time, he was living in Melville, so it wasn't too far.
Oh yeah, with Yao and Tshego, right?
But that time was with Tshego and Gemini. And Mateki and all that. And that's why I got to meet the bros.
Meet all those guys.
Yeah. So then I put up on there, get to the crib, it's Tshego out there. Tshego had his own studio also. Veezo had his own studio, Mateki, Gemini is there as well. So it was a very creative space, bro.
I feel you.
It was a very, you know what I mean? Like,
I hear you.
That also then inspired me, dog. And that time I had Naomi as a draft. So I remember playing it for...
Because you got Tshego and Gemini on the remix, right? I've always wondered, how did that even happen?
Bro, so Veezo's honestly like the root of everything. You know what I mean? He didn't make it happen. But him just made it happen. You know what I mean? And so Naomi, then it dropped. I played it for them, I remember. Then it dropped. After, and I told them everything that what I'm planning. So I think from them, from where they were sitting, they kind of saw that. They're like, oh, this light he actually said this. You know, so I think it was just that motion that made me gravitate closer to what we're about. And then the manager I had at the time, Zen. She was a go-getter, bro. She would tell me, yo, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And then Tshego heard the tune and I told him, bro, I really want you to jump on this, whatever. And then he got his manager Jude at the time to hit me up. Jude was also one of the guys that really
Shout out to Jude,
man. He's one of the guys that also tapped into the bot scene quite early. And I think he's still very tapped. He's very tapped in. You know what I mean? Like from wherever he is, he knows what the fuck is going on.
He is.
So I think he saw the opportunity as well. Like this may be a good opportunity for the boys as well.
To also cross over.
Yeah. And it was very organic. You know what I mean? It was very organic. It was not something that was like, nah, I don't want to do it. Or, like it made sense for them because we flew them in. Like I had a whole plan. Once they agreed, I had a whole plan for this. Like I'm gonna do press releases. I'm gonna do a press run. I'm gonna do a press conference even where I'm gonna fly these niggas in, just for we inviting media. You know, and they had just signed to Family Tree as well at the time, so it was kind of like a thing.
It was
in Gabs. You know, so the media was so invested in it.
I hear that.
Yeah. Then.
Damn, like as you're explaining how a lot of things happened, right? Luck plays a part, right? But also how methodical and how analytical and how you like you said, you like to be 3 steps ahead.
Yeah.
And I think that's what differentiates you from like your peers. Because I feel like you put in the work and the work allows you to get in an opportunity. But the planning of like, okay, what's the steps that are coming next is what differentiates you. Because you're the only person who's ever gotten a Tshego feature or a Gemini feature from bots.
Yeah, well, outside of Veezo, right?
Well, outside of Veezo, and Veezo doesn't count because those are his boys.
Yeah.
But you're literally the only person who's ever gotten those features, and that's crazy. I mean, even now, I mean, we'll get to it where you have Dikwala on your new project. You plan things before they happen. 100%. Like you're very strategic I love that.
100%, bro. 100%.
Damn.
Right?
That's so sick.
Yeah, bro. So now Naomi popped off. Bruce jumped on the remix. You know, it just became a Mazda.
Yeah, solid.
Then from there on, it was just motion.
Building from
motion,
there.
motion.
Damn.
You know?
When does WhySo happen? Because WhySo was already a thing before.
The events and all
Yeah,
that.
before the
Yeah,
events
yeah.
and stuff, right?
Yeah.
What is WhySo and how did that come about?
So, like I was saying, we used to look up to like your megas and all that type of stuff, and they were very. There was a time where even just I think until his last day, he was very with crew,
the boys.
crew love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean with the bros.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I think at the time I forgot what they used to call themselves, man. But yeah, it was like the bros, you know. And I'm like, we need a conglomerate, man. I'm telling my bros I'm always chilling with. We need.
A name for us.
That we
for
can,
the
when we
collective.
land, they say, those guys are here. You know, they don't have to say us individually, they just say one word and it means those guys are here.
Okay.
The WhySo guys are here now, you know what I mean? So it was kind of that thing that inspired us to come up with that.
Okay.
So there was a thing of, okay, dope idea, bro, but what are we gonna call ourselves? Man, I do not know where it came from, but I just woke up one morning and I'm like, WhySo? We had a group, and I sent it to the group. I said, WhySo, with the question mark. That's all I said. I think I remember Bruce was like, WhySo what? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes. You know? I'm like, then they're like, what? I'm like, dog, that's our name.
That's the
WhySo.
name.
Okay, what do we want to know? I don't know, man. Let's just print t-shirts and put WhySo there. That's it. We'll see what happens after that. You know, we'll see what happens after that. Then now we started this thing of, because Jam for Brunch was a thing. There's an event called Jam for Brunch.
Yeah, I remember by Zeus, right?
Yeah. So it was a thing at the time when we started it. So we'd always go for that it was like every last Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we always make sure to get dope pictures. So when we take those pictures, we started posting it on Twitter with the hashtag WhySoSundays.
Okay.
You know, we just said hashtag WhySoSundays. If you feel cool, if there's a picture, and it was before selfie was really a thing. You know, if there's a picture that you have and you have no reason to put, no excuse, use WhySoSundays as an excuse to post a dope picture of yourself. And that's how we started. If you go on Twitter right now and you type in hashtag WhySoSundays, and you just go down, you'll see from 2015 or whatever, you'll see all these people tagging WhySoSundays with like their selfies or their pictures. And then that's just how, you know, then
you guys built it.
Then we started realizing, okay, cool, how can we scale, you know? And we realized that, okay, merchandise is a low-hanging fruit. You know,
it's the easiest thing.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing to get a quick thou in your pocket, 5 t-shirts go, you know what I mean? And also just to push awareness.
The brand, the name, I get that.
You know, so then that's just where it came from, bro. Then it just became a thing. Then only later on, we realized that our true calling is bringing people together.
And who came up with the idea to make the events?
It was me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember telling the homies that, yo, we need to find a way to. I think even just at the time when WhySoSundays hashtag was booming, we're like, imagine this thing as an event one day. I was talking to my homie who was part of us at the time. I'm like, dog, why one day? But we just didn't know how to do it.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, what does it take? How much money do you need?
I get that.
You know, I used to see other events like Jam for Brunch example. I'd see like Coca-Cola banner, whatever. I used to think guys just go buy those banners and put them up
themselves.
Just look, that's how events are. I'm like, nah, for you to be an event guy, you need to go look for a Straps banner, go look for a Jägermeister banner.
You
push it
them
out. Then it's an event. You know? So I used to think that.
Damn, I love that because that's such a great point because we talk about, me and the homies always talk about how sometimes an idea is not for right now.
Yes.
You get me? The time isn't right now, but the idea, the time will come. And I think that's a great example because years later, then you guys did the WhySo.
5 years later.
Damn.
5 years later.
5 years later.
And when we did the first one, we had been talking about it for like a year. That past year, the whole of 2021. I remember me and my girl were on our balcony, just looking at the views, looking at the stars, you know, just soaking in inspiration. You know. And I say to her, how does WhySo and Friends sound? And she's like, that sounds dope, why? Like for what? A song or what? I'm like, nah, WhySo and Friends. WhySo and Friends, an event. Then I went deeper into it, bro. started doing my research now because I'm in Joburg. I'm attending other events that are happening. So like I'm getting some source. I'm like, why isn't this in bots? Okay. Why isn't this in bots? Okay. Why isn't this in bots? Okay. Then we're throwing in.
You got all the infinity stones for events.
So now we're thinking, how are we going to make people pay to come? I'm like, you know what? Let's just make these WhySo and Friends parties free, invite only, exclusive. So that we build, and we make sure it's the best party. I remember telling guys, like, guys, we're gonna lose money. We need the best photographers, we need the best local DJs. And when people come here, we need to make them look the best they've ever looked in pictures. The best they've ever, and I realized that was the secret, because one of the events I attended here, I'd always wait to see the pictures. So I could change my profile picture or something. And I realized that's what happened with the people in Bots. Like when we started WhySo and Friends, I remember telling Winsam, bro, make sure, even Leo Gucci, shout out to Leo Gucci, Winsam Khalid, shout out to Neutral, you know, the guys that started this thing with us also, you know, they believe. They also didn't give me a hard time. They didn't give me a hard time. You know, everybody actually that jumped on board, from the DJs to the photographers, did not give me a hard time with the vision. You know, I think it's also just always being a pure guy. And people always gravitate to motion.
I think I would love for you to just expand on that, right? Because we work in an industry where people are snakes, people are sharks. And being a pure person can actually open doors for you. And people are willing to listen to you.
And being pure is just honesty. You just need to be honest, bro. I tell these guys, what I know your worth, but what I need you to do for me, or what I want us to do together, I won't be able to pay you. I'll get, if you can't do it, if you don't want to do it or you can't do it, I get it, it's your business. But if you do, pull up, because I promise you, from here, you guys are gonna get gigs elsewhere, whatever. And they just jumped on, bro, no hassle.
I feel that.
You know what I mean? So they came through with their skills, made everybody look dope. Once we put the pictures out for the first event, that was it.
It was done from there.
Trended throughout the whole country. You know, and people wondering, yo, all these girls. But these are people that we hang out with. You know
these are just the homies.
These are just the homies, dog. WhySo and Friends.
You
know what I mean? So after that traction, we saw it. We saw, yo, let's capitalize on this. Because the plan was just going to be, let's have one a year. You know, and I'm like, nah. So much happens in a year, people forget. You know what I mean? We need to constantly be in people's faces. You know.
So then that's when it evolved to like the farmers market and the...
But farmers market even came later. You know what I mean? When I'm still trying to see how can we scale this thing even more. You know, WhySo and Friends now, I'm like, how can we make it bigger? But then I'm like, it's kind of, because I'm also very conceptual, you know what I mean? And I believe in concepts, and concepts are what works. That's what people
gravitate to.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, but WhySo and Friends now, the way that it was, the people that enjoyed it, if I say 1,000 people now, those same 100 people that came for that party are gonna be like, what the fuck, dog? It's not even exclusive.
I get that. Now
so
everyone is here.
Now everybody is here. So I'm like, okay, cool. How can we now maybe create another property another event property that won't affect
this
and Friends?
You
know what I mean? I'm like, but still I'm like, WhySoSundays is already popping. Why don't we just say WhySoSundays? Then we'll make people pay. It'll be WhySo and Friends, but on steroids, but it's not the exclusive. We'll still keep the exclusive Magandi going on. But let's also get people in. Let's be inclusive.
Let's include people.
Because Botswana was showing a lot of love, bro. Like from the comments I was seeing, I'm like, dog, these people, niggas were asking like, yo, where can we find this party? How can I? I'm like, dog, let's actually get these people in. You know, then we did WhySoSundays. I still kept and Friends. We bring in Friends here and there, you know.
In between.
So now I had to see throughout the year, I need to study now the event calendar throughout the country. Because at the time when we started, there was already Chill Step, there was already like
really
Brand, which was also very big.
Really big.
You know, also, you see, when I was saying I was learning from, Drew's also one guy that I learned from. I saw the way that he was handling Chill Step. I'm like, damn, take a few notes here, take a few notes there, and then we applied it in our stuff.
Damn, you know? That's crazy.
Yeah, bro, then everything else just
rolled off.
Then it just happened, bro.
What were some of those mistakes you guys made? Because events is like a completely different field, right? And you being like already popular from music, right? People would think, Banty just puts his name with it, posts it, and everyone comes. But what were the mistakes you guys made with those first early WhySo?
Bro, Man, we lost so much money, bro. Like, but our key was to always not show it to the public.
No one needs to know.
Nobody
or
needs
we're
to
making a
know what
loss.
struggles were. You know what I mean? There's just, yo, you had a good time. Yo, best party, please do it next week. That time we are in debt.
Yeah, in the red.
You know what I mean? So the biggest mistake we did was we never used to budget. You know what I mean? Eventing, you need to budget.
Yeah.
You need to have a whole list of, there's many moving pieces. You know, there's venue, first things first. Venue cost. There's sound cost. And sound comes with sound stage and lighting, right?
Separate cost.
Then there is security, right? And then what are people going to eat at the event? What are they going to drink? So it comes infrastructure, bar, where they're going to sit comes decor. So we knew those things, but we never used to say, okay, now let's allocate this budget for this. We were just going on the go. By the time we get to the fourth thing on the list, they're like, shit, budget is exhausted. So now we have to go with the cheapest guy for something, which now compromises
on
quality.
the quality of the show
and,
the event.
And those things kind of used to happen, but people wouldn't see it. We would see it in the back end because then the numbers wouldn't add up. Maybe we overbought stuff for the bar.
Now the stock remains.
And we would buy the soaks. Now we know that we get the shit on consignment. You know what I mean?
Whatever you don't sell, you
take it back to the supplier. Before that, we were buying 20K worth of alcohol and only 8K would buy, and we're remaining with the rest.
And obviously, a lot of guys end up drinking it.
That's what happens.
Parties.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Now we're like, hey, let's just sip this thing, dog, because we win a plug it. You know, so that was like one of the biggest lessons that we learned. You know, that helped us change our whole business model.
I get you.
You know, once we kind of like figured those things out, we managed to, you know, and also just the brands, learning how to communicate with brands. What would they like?
I think that's I want to double click and open that folder, right? Brands, right? I feel like you're able to speak to brands and how? Like, how are you able to reach out to brands? How do you keep relationships with these people? Like, how are you? Because people who are gonna watch this are gonna be like, yo, I have a great idea for an event. I have all the infrastructure, but how do I reach out to brands? Like,
you see, for me, already because I was an artist, band T, what people forget, right, is that personal branding is very important.
True.
Personal branding is very important. You need to brand yourself, your personality, how people perceive you. You know what I mean? People are always going to gravitate to someone that is easy to work with, that when I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it.
You're professional.
I'm punctual. You know, I'm going to come. I came 10 minutes before the interview today. You know what I mean? It's second nature now to me. You know what I mean?
Get you.
So just practicing those traits throughout band T career kind of overflowed into WhySo.
Okay.
Right? So when we did our first event, I tried my luck because I used to get booked by KBL, for example. They house your Flying Fish or whatever. So they used to book me for their own events. So I kind of had a relationship with the then brand manager. So when we started this thing, I'm like, okay, cool, I think you need a sponsor. But I didn't know the lingo.
Okay.
So I went to him, I'm like, yo, we're having this thing, what idea, what can you, and they're like, have you done it before? I'm like, no.
So at that time, there's no proof of concept.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, like, have you done it before? I'm like, no. And she's like, send me a proposal. I mean, I taught myself how to do those things, but then there was no ROI for the brand. I was gonna benefit more from them, from the money that they were giving me. But because there isn't the proof of concept, they were not really sure. That's when I learned that, okay, cool, let me create my proof of concept. Let's do these events ourselves. And we jumped. Then on our third event, now because of the pictures we got, the videos, now we understand. You know, also after the rejection I got from them from the first event,
you learned from
I went to also do my research. What's the language these guys speak? You know, your ROIs. You know, your stock buy-in. You know, your. Now I came with that language, and then now that okay, you're speaking our language. You know, people gravitate to what they know. So personal branding first, number one, and then knowing the language. So it became that.
Okay.
So they know that I'm a reliable person. I'm not going to fuck around. If I sign a contract, I'm gonna do everything. I'm delivering. And number two, the proof of concept is there. Now I've got the numbers. I'm showing them, yo, I moved this much of your stock at my last event. Let's go.
Okay.
Relationships are created. Now you gotta maintain the relationship.
Yeah. Damn, because a lot of guys like you're saying, like they don't understand the language that brands use, right? And then when they get a no, they're like, fuck this brand. And it's
then
like,
they see me getting it, they be like, this guy's actually got somebody inside, whatever.
And it's actually not like that.
It's not like that, my bro.
Like, and also once you approach a brand, what is the brand getting? Because you're getting stock or money or whatever it is, right? But what's the brand getting?
And the secret that I learned, giving you niggas my secret, is that you have to think for these guys.
So solve their problems.
Exactly. Become the problem solver. And that's what I became now. I went into that thing of, okay, let me become the problem solver.
Yeah.
Let me not go to the brand and ask them for what I want, but let me tell them what they need. Right? You guys are struggling with your content. You guys are struggling with moving this product. Let's move it this way. You guys are already from that. They're
sold.
They're sold. You know what I mean? You need to be able to think for them.
Okay.
You know, I realize that now. Okay, cool, man. Let's think for these guys. Fine. You know, eventually we become their marketing departments, but we are getting what we need, you know what I mean?
You're getting what you want, and they're getting what they want.
And that's win-win. And that's I believe one thing about this industry. Relationships just have to be win-win, bro.
Yeah. It goes both ways, bro.
If you're not trying to be buddy or friends, whatever, just make sure it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Nobody's time is wasted.
I get that. Damn. Okay, let's switch gears and go back to music, right?
Yes, sir.
I was going through your catalog and I realized that another thing that distinguishes you from your peers is that you're consistent. You always put out new music. What's the reason for that? Because I think I know, but what's your reason for consistently
like I was saying, like
music?
One, being in people's faces, you know what I mean? And I realized also like I forgot which artist it was, man. Like, I really loved his music, but he never used to put out. I'd only remember him once he puts out music. You know what I mean? He put out a music once a year or something. But after I bumped there for the 3 months, I forgot. I'm bumping into whoever's new now. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dog, that must be how people think of me as well. You know what I mean? I'm like, dog, I need to be in people's faces 100%. So I believe that in a year, like I was saying, 3.
Yeah.
In my year, I should at least put out 3 songs, and I would cut the year off in like 3. So beginning, middle, and final.
Okay.
And beginning would be like your Jan to April, May. Then May to the winter, then the last is September to December, the summer. So I need to make sure that I'm active in
those
every
3 areas.
So if I'm not dropping music, at least I should be performing at the biggest event in the country, or I should be having an event, or there should be something. And if you look at my past 5 years, every time there is always
something out.
I remember when COVID came, I was like, yay, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah.
People are inside, I'm like, okay, guys are doing this. Then we started doing this thing called Cozy Quarantine. And that's actually where also one of the lessons I learned to talk to a brand, because shout out to Lloyd, he was managing me at the time. We didn't know what we're gonna do with this thing. We hollered at Mascom. And Mascom jumped on board in this COVID. It was just a COVID thingy, bro. Like, we were talking online, just having conversations with people. Then it just started gravitating in bots. And I started we had Slicker coming in. We had all the top artists in bots. I had V-Man Peasy, I had ATI. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
So COVID showed me also like, diversify, boy.
You have to diversify.
You have to diversify, bro.
You've had such a legendary career, and it's like you still have so much more to do, right? I want to, this might be a bit controversial, right? But I want to find out what you think. So I have a theory, right, that the world doesn't want more of what it already has. So let me go further into detail, right? Because I don't think artists from BW should be making music that's from South Africa. right? And we know the relationship between Botswana and South Africa. South Africa is like a big brother to Bots, right?
Yeah.
And it influences so much of what people in Botswana think. What's your perspective on, because now we have Mr. Tebogo, who just became a global icon.
Yeah. Our diamond.
Literally our diamond,
Yes, sir.
right? What's your perspective on artists in BW jumping on piano? Because I don't think it's gonna work. I think it's actually gonna have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
But what's your perspective on?
For me,
and
it's-
how does BW cut through in the world? Like, how do we find our own space?
That's a good one, because me and my bros always talk about this.
Yeah,
Right? Like, always like,
yeah.
dog, what is that bot sound? And do we need a bot sound? Do we, do we
What's
have to
our
create
thing?
a bot sound?
Because even when you look at people like Nigeria and like Afropop, bro,
Yeah.
the reason Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido are who they are on the global stage is because, bro, they brought something unique.
Yeah.
They're not remaking things that already exist. The
I
world
think with
doesn't
bots,
want
bro,
that.
we have, there is a distinct sound in Botswana, which is the traditional.
The traditional.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And guys have tried to incorporate that in hip hop and all that, but it's not, for me, I don't think it's commercially viable. I think the sound that we have, that we say is about, is not commercially viable. Maybe that's why it hasn't reached outside of wherever it's
BW.
popping in bots. Even just wherever it is happening, Gabs or whatever, it's not really, because it's not commercially viable. Amapiano is, it's undeniable.
As soon as you hear it, it's just
boy,
like-
you're moving, something's already moving.
And
Afrobeat,
nowhere else
same
in the
thing.
world are they making that.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So I feel like we don't have that commercially, that thing that makes a Nigerian want to jump on it, you know what I mean? And I don't think we have to find it, man. Like, guys, just do your thing, man. And with the Amapiano thing, I think it's just a wave. Guys are just jumping onto a hot wave. They're gonna get tired of it eventually.
Eventually.
You know what I mean? They're just jumping onto a hot wave.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
bots. That's what they're doing. But yeah, I know they doing it too much like SA. But SA guys, when they hear that, they know it's not from here.
Bro, immediately it even turns them off.
Yeah.
They're like, bruh, what is this?
Yeah.
So I
And
just
I think that's how Nigerians used to feel like when guys jump on Afrobeats.
1000%. And
Because
that's why
Afrobeats, sorry to cut you off, and because Afrobeats is not just about the beat, it's also the way you talk on the beat. What do they call it? Pigeon.
Yeah, the pigeon
the
English.
pigeon that they that's what sits well on that. So you're gonna come through with like a proper English accent on this thing, it's gonna be a bit tough to
not
follow
gonna
this
work
thing,
out, bro.
I
just like to have this conversation and have people also out there thinking about it. Like, yo, what is the thing that's going to distinguish Botswana
buzz.
from everywhere else?
Yeah.
Where you're like, okay, this is from there.
Yeah, when it comes to the music, like I haven't tried to tap into the bot sound because I don't think it'll sound dope on my stuff.
I get you.
I just believe let's talk about bots in our music. And that's one thing that I've made sure to always do.
Yeah,
in
you
my
were going
songs.
to performances with the flag.
With the bots
right?
flag, you know what I mean? I'm always going to reference a Mageba. I'm always going to reference 267 somewhere.
Yeah.
Gaborone or Botswana somewhere in my music, you know what I
get
mean?
you.
So I
get
think
you.
for me, that's how maybe we can push it out there.
And it'll also make the kids feel proud of being.
Exactly.
Because I think that's where it needs to start.
Yes.
Like, first of all, let's be proud of where we come from before we step out into the world and do whatever.
Exactly.
But, okay, cool. Let's fast forward to 2024, right? You have Titty's Revenge.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between Banty and Titty?
Yes, sir. So with Titty, like I was saying, came from Banty, right? I realized that, remember at the beginning I told you that I entered the industry with, Banty entered with Bantata's personality.
Yes.
So I always figured out how can I kind of, because when you understand the game also, you learn that think of everybody that's successful, right, in hip hop. I'm just using hip hop as an example because it's what we're close to, right? Everybody has a character, which makes it interesting. People buy into your personality before they really buy into the. I mean, you can listen to the tune and love it, but once they really find out how you are and they fuck with it, they'll fuck with the music even more. You know? So I was like, dog, how can I kind of separate Banty and Bantata? You know, because I'm still coming in as the same guy. You know? And I'm like, fuck it, let's do Titty. Because everybody calls me Titty already, I'm calling myself Titty. Let me push it in the music. In the music, I used to just make Banty, I'd make like, you know, your melodic songs, your whatever. But then there'd be times where I'm just like, let me do a rap song, you know what I mean? I'll do like a Nightmares in the A. I'll do I'm like, but this is not Banty. I think this is Titty. That's who Titty is. Okay. You know, because also when I would record those kind of songs, there's some ego kind of that would come in, that would come out, you know what I mean? Like, even on the mic, like, nigga, I'd want to like slap this mic, like when I'm recording, you know what I mean?
I can hear it in this project, and I think it was super clear to me. The song Titty's rap.
Yeah, Titty on Reposado.
Reposado freestyle.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, okay, I see the difference between the artists.
Yeah, bro. And so for me to Titty, I started actually working on Titty with OTV.
With Veezo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Titty kind of really started coming out in OTV after I figured out, okay, cool, I can tap into this pocket with this guy. And I just, throughout OTV now, more of Titty's coming out, more of Titty. If you listen to OTV 2, there's more of the rap Banty in there, you know what I mean? Titty's coming out. So I'm like, how can I develop this character even more? You know, so there was even songs I was recording for OTV that Titty came out too much. That I decided, I'm like, hey, let me keep this for Titty's revenge.
Okay.
You know, let me actually keep this for Titty. So I started building that character through OTV, and I finally aced Titty. Like, I know who the fuck Titty is now. You know, so right now it's Titty's revenge, and it's a revenge to the old self that didn't understand how this thing works.
I feel you.
You know what I mean?
And I also feel like to ex-business partners, ex-friends, it's like, because there's a line in there where you're like, basically people who cross you eventually come back.
Yeah.
Like, and I wanted to tap into how people can use energy for different things, right? Revenge is a very powerful form of energy that you can use to direct yourself. Like, that's what I got from that project.
And I realized that having a revenge against someone else is just a waste of time and energy. I need to go against my old self because I want to become better. I want to become a better version of myself. You know, I just turned 27 now, and I started this at 19, 18. And I feel like I've grown so much, bro, not just in the music, but just as myself, the way that I view things now, the way that I think about, like, you know, like, I'm much more grown up now, you know?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Damn, okay. Let's switch gears again. So there's something that I always ask every single guest who's on Dead Radio, right? And it's about the evolution of their dreams, right? So your dream obviously was the skateboarding one and the soccer one. Then it evolved to you wanting to be an artist and then eventually breaking through and then becoming an artist and then blowing up.
Yeah.
And then during that you create WhySo, which then starts the eventing thing. What's a new dream for Banty today that you haven't had, that you didn't have 6 months, 12 months, 18 months ago?
Yeah.
What's a new dream for Banty?
You know, like I was saying, like I'm grown now, the way that I'm thinking about things. Like, I'm not trying to be the biggest rapper anymore. I'm not trying to be the biggest artist anymore. I'm not trying to perform on every stage anymore. You know what I mean? And growing in this industry, I also realized, because I studied music business as well. You know, after I finished the ASC.
Yeah, you came back again.
Then I came back again, just COVID times. I was like, you know, I felt like I'd hit a ceiling in Gabs. I'd hit some ceiling that I felt like, how do I break through this thing? You know what happens, bro, when you keep hitting a ceiling, you're gonna get a headache.
Yeah, you're gonna get a headache.
And when you get a headache, no motion.
No motion at all.
You know what I mean? So this headache was a bit too much for me. And I'm like, I need to do something different. I need to go back to school, I think, you know? And also, I was trying to be in Joburg. So how can I be in Joburg without just being in Joburg for burning money?
I get
You know what I mean? Let me go get some education. So I went to go study music business and law. Yeah. Shout out to COPA. There's a school called COPA. They offer that. You guys should check them out. It's called Campus of Performing Arts.
Crazy.
Yeah, they offer that module, and it's really dope. And that kind of unlocked a lot in me.
In your mind, yeah.
In my mind, and how I view the industry and just the game. You know what I mean? Like when I graduated. You know what I mean? So like
shout out.
Yeah. I got my papers. I'm a certified music business pundit. You know what I mean? Entertainment business and all that. So my next 5-year plan is to. My first dream when I got into the music was I developed my first record label. It was called Bantastic Sounds.
Yes.
So now I'm at 8 years later. Before that, it was just the record label that represents me, right? 8 years later now, because I understand the music game, I understand the business, and I'm still learning as it goes, you know what I mean? I want to grow Bantastic Sounds into a Roc Nation type of situation.
Okay.
You know?
Representing
artists. I see where guys are going wrong. I feel like I can help out here and there, and yeah, man. I'm just planning on building. I've actually started already building the right team. You know what I mean? Now I know how to source the right people. You are good for this position. You are good for this. You know what I mean? I know that I don't know everything. You know, I now know that I don't know everything always. I can't do this all by myself. I need a full team of well-equipped people.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? And that's where we are with Bantastic Sounds. You know what I mean? I might fuck around and get into sports management. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Bro.
But that's the vision.
That's the vision now. You know, we're growing this thing where we're gonna help not just artists, we're gonna help creatives. You know, yeah. So before we even start doing that, we're positioning ourselves. You know, we also need to be true to because guys will pop off and then start a record label, then sign other artists and realize how difficult that really is. You know what I mean? So we are getting ourselves in a position where we are going to be able to do that. So we are, you know, acquiring the funds, we are creating the relationships, you know, on another level.
And you're the first guinea pig of that. Like, you're using yourself to build those relationships, learn those lessons, so by the time you're ready,
100%.
It's plug and play.
100%. And then also, I believe in trying to bridge the gap, bro. I'm trying to bridge the gap between Joburg and Bots, for example. Joburg, Bots, Zambia, just the SADC region. You know, I know a couple of big artists in Zambia who are my bros, a couple big artists here who are my bros. And one mistake that I made coming up when I used to come here a lot was always asking guys for features. You know what I mean? And I realized that's not how it works.
They're not going to give you the feature.
Exactly. You know
not
what I
how
mean?
it works.
I'm no more trying to get features from these niggas anymore. If we want to be boys, we can be boys. If it happens, it happens type of thing. Let me see how we can bridge this gap. Let me solve your problem. I don't want your feature this time. I want to solve your problem. Have you performed in Botswana before? No, I haven't. Okay, let's go. Let me show you something Botswana.
I feel
you. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So Joburg is honestly a stepping stone to where we're going with it. It's gonna. I mean, the small steps, but we're eventually going to, crack the code, bro.
I see that. Damn. Fuck, this has been such a fire conversation, so enlightening. I know a lot of kids are gonna watch this and like take so many jewels from it. But as we're winding down, what's your last piece of advice to a kid out there? A kid who's probably in sound engineering or a kid who's at home but wants to pursue their dream, whether it's through music, events, fashion, whatever it is. What's your last piece of advice to the dreamers out there?
I know this may sound cliche and corny.
I love cliches, because that cliche is for a reason.
Yeah.
Like,
I know that people are always gonna tell you believe in yourself, all that, and that is very true. Don't just look at it on the surface of believing in yourself. Like, when you tell yourself I'm gonna do this, cancel those, because there's also those doubts that come like, but what if I can't? What if I cancel those and focus on actually knowing that only you are your own enemy, your own worst enemy, and your own competition, right? And that the universe favors the committed. If you're gonna commit just to something and you're consistent with it, the universe is gonna favor you. If you keep doing something 10 times, you might strike gold on the 11th. You know what I mean? If you do it 20 times, 100 times, you're gonna strike gold eventually. Somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, look at the store, bro. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it didn't start like this, right? The brand didn't start
Yeah.
like this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There was
Yeah.
even those times where anybody could quit, but you don't. When you beat that, you know, I can't find the right word for it, but when you beat that threshold of self-doubt and whatever,
Things start
literally open for them by themselves.
Yeah.
And if you look at everyone you look up to, they'll tell you the same thing. That's what guys started doing, bro. If you put your mind to something and you actually believe you will achieve it, you will, bro. Yeah, man.
Bro, realness.
And also just as artists, as artists, don't just focus on the music. You know, diversify. The music is true. This one is very true. It won't get you, the music alone, it won't get you there.
Especially in a time where there's like, bro, like I saw something, there's like 60,000 songs uploaded every single day to Spotify. It's like, bro, music can't be the only thing. It's not gonna get you to the bag.
Exactly, yeah, and do your research. Last advice.
Yeah.
Do your research. Don't be scared of asking questions. Even if they sound stupid, at least you will know now.
I feel you. I feel you. Damn. There you have it. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back with another episode of Dead Radio.
And you're live on Dead Radio.